Hey, I'm here to give you some feedback. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to DM me directly or ping me in your RIP thread. So, first of all, actually, I wonder if you ever hit tab here in the first little bit. Oh, no, I know. MangroveJack, right? I think. Yeah, cool. So you're in a very similar ELO range. So I'll let you in on this little bit of feedback here. So before any match starts, like, I'd do it even before this. I'd go to this website and you could search for players. I like to compare personally. Just because as the season goes on and the more ranked that you've played, you can look at how your previous matchups have gone. But I like to look at it more for the up to date information as I can on my opponent. For example, if I look at Raul's win streak right now, Raul's information right now, just because he's number one, right? I can see that he's on a win streak, and from what I know of Raul, because I have a lot of information on him from film study before, I know this may be going pretty poorly because of how Raul's mental is. However, if let's say Raul had was easily discouraged and he was on a losing streak, and I see that a lot of those losses are forfeits, I know then to keep with the seed, keep with the run, and if he gets a little bit ahead of me, that's not a big problem, because as long as I play consistent, fast still, but consistent, there's a chance that I can catch up to him. Obviously not Raul, because he's a much, much better player than I am, but I think you get where I'm going with this. The more pre-seed scouting you can get on the player, the better. Now, getting into the seed, it's Village and it's Taiga. Or, it's not Taiga, this is Acacia. I kind of like Acacia, just because, it's just generally really easy, I feel. And then something that I notice about this particular Acacia is that there's two blacksmiths, this one and that one. So what I would actually do is, instead of going into the door here, I'd actually just mine the one wood right in front of the chest here. So that way I could just get that wood, loot the chest, go to the other blacksmith, and do the same thing. So that way I have 2 wood and all of the resources from both blacksmiths. But doing this here doesn't really solve much of anything. In fact, it's kind of like a little time loss. Also, you should grab the boots and the apples as well. Especially if you realize that you can leave earlier. It's definitely nice. I wouldn't necessarily make that axe here. I'd look at the other blacksmith, see if you could get some iron, so that way you can just save yourself time crafting iron. So already the village routing is a little bit janky to me. I'd have tried to score a hit on... Oh, never mind. Enderman's... Nice. Nice! Nice heads-up play. That's just a really goofy little, the guy looks at it in film review and is like, how the fuck did he get an ender pearl already? I think checking the other blacksmith is potentially a really big mistake, just because there could be obsidian in there could be additional food in there, armor, just really useful things in general. Gold ingots even. like, yeah, that may not be the intended one per se, but I think it's still important to check. Because especially when you're, like, obviously ahead of your opponent, even though it's not that, like, far ahead, maybe. Like, you're basically, like, introducing, like, a factor that I like to call variance. So, you are ahead, but why are you ahead? Is it because you, for example, in this run, didn't loot a blacksmith? Well, that blacksmith had 10 obsidian that you didn't necessarily need because the lava pool proximity was nice here. But it was a 10 obby, like there wasn't enough obsidian in the bastion. Like, the seed was kind of expected to play with that obsidian in mind, I guess. And now they have double travel and you don't. So you're just introducing variance that may result in time loss later for momentary gain. And if that's how you want to play, you can play that like that. Obviously, you've won in the past, so this is good to an extent, but just something to definitely keep in mind. You see both. I'd honestly hang that pearl way further, like, closer. Just because, well, I don't know. I go 50-50 on it, because now you may be introducing zombie pigs in your bastion when you, like, load it back up. But, you know. Are we doing a T-Wags route? Or I'm confused. Also, throwing that gold there, if we're doing T-Wags, just doesn't make a ton of sense to me. No, we're not even doing T-Wags. That had to have been a misclick then. Okay. If you misclicked, obviously that's not great. I don't even know what happened. I'm going to rewatch that. Nah, that might have been just fully intentional. Because, like, you didn't even go that fast to it. I don't know. Unless your mechanics are that fast, and from what I've seen so far, they're just not, I'd be a little bit more patient and see if you can get that you can get that too, so that way that you can split it instead of taking both of them and then miscrafting your gold like that. The other thing that I see here is that you're not, like, using these. Hold on. You're not using, like, these two, like, pillars here to your advantage. And because of that, you get hit. And also because of that, that you feel forced to, like, throw a gold, even though that's not necessarily true. And because of that, now you have, like, pigs that may not come or will be late. Throw the gold into the hole, so that way those pigs behind you can start trading and funneling in. Because this is, this is a funnel. Once they get to that block, it's an auto funnel. Good pick block. And then the pearl hang play seems to be working out pretty good. You only got like maybe one zombie pig. In terms of rampart looting, I think that this is in correct order. If you go over here and then work your way back, it's actually a micro time save, because if you start here and go over here, for example, you'll have to run all the way back over, but if you start here, you can like move in such a way to where you can like mine this block, like you can reach this block from over there, so you can overlap that mining animation with moving, and then you can do the same thing over in the corner. Obviously, if you start here, you can only get that mining animation once, not over there. I do like the procedural, not procedural, like how you're mining the gold though. Also, another little time save. Since you mined like the corner block over on the other side, it's better for you to wait for the pigs that you sucked up over on this rampart. It's better for them to pathfind over as soon as you can. So save the gold blocks here. Like, don't craft them right now. Craft them when you're above the hole, so that way those pigs have time to pathfind over. Looks to me like you're... Yep. Oh, yikes. That was not a good pearl hang. And I think that just kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Had you have pearl hanged, like, when you were more linear and, like, closer, I don't think that this would have happened, and the time save that you would have gotten would have been, like, incredible and massive. I was also going to say that pearl just doesn't look that great. And there's actually two things wrong right now. So, like, if you see that you're at this depth, you need to do one of two things. Not what you did here. One, you need to either commit to under lava pearls, or you need to build up so that way you have a more stable platform to throw pearls off of. Because then, like, your pearls will just go further if you can get, like, proper sprint behind it. And, like, that's one of the reasons why you missed that. Or I suppose you could swim up like this to where, like, you can pop your head above, see where the fort is, and then throw an under lava pearl that way now. And then just kind of commit to it there instead of, like, making terrain decisions. If you had soul sand in your hotbar, you'd be able to bridge up more effectively, or like build up more effectively. And I think that that's honestly something to be said. Like, you know that you have the time save of the pearl hang. You might as well get your hotbar ready for the next split. This does not look like a prepared hotbar to me because you shouldn't be having these bricks, in my opinion. You should, like, have soul sand in your hotbar because it's just, like, the most abundant solid block that you have. Not to mention, once you get to this part, or like this part of the run where you're building up, you can get that like tick time save every other block as well. So other than that, like, I like to have fire res on my hotbar or like obsidian or something, just preparing for the split after. Also, Well, I guess that doesn't matter. Never mind. Your inventory's clogged was what I was going to say, but there wasn't really a great time to like organize it. Got the blaze bed off immediately. That's great. Don't worry about him right now. He'll balloon up. You gotta fix the fire above. Another reason... Yep, never mind. I was gonna say build that with soul sand, but you obviously know. You could craft this between blaze hits. Okay. Wow. Even then, there wasn't, like, tons of time to, like, organize stuff here. I'm sorry, wait, did you not boat overlap? You can boat overlap in portals like this. Okay, yeah, two things here. Either boat overlap or get height. I'd pick block the nether bricks to get height because since soul sand isn't a full block, you won't actually get the benefit of a full block when you blind. Like if you're at 62 and then the soul sand puts you at like 62.875, you're still at 62 in the game's mind. So if you just get a block and get up to 63, you'll be fine. Well, then again, it is ranked. You're going to be surfaced more often than not. But still, you need to do the boat overlap in the portal, which you can do by just looking at, like, the portal itself. Like the obsidian on the floor of the portal. Hold on. You have 6 bed, 2 anchor. Or 5 bed, 2 anchor. Unless you're missing something for 0, like, that should be enough. Oh, also, especially for ranked, I don't think that, like, crafting there is really ever appropriate, just because, like, it's just objective time loss. Like, you have to clear your inventory. Like, presumably, if you're crafting there, you haven't had time to clear your inventory or, like, set other things up. So, like, you could do that in the portal room, and it wouldn't be as bad a time loss. Especially if you have to death reset, for example. Not that you would have to on a village seed, but like crafting it here is just more often than not time loss. Obviously runner discretion, but you get what I'm saying. That looks close to missing. I also have no idea where this portal is. highlighting blocks leads to preemptive mishaps. Oh dear, you don't know your room rules. Okay, so I could already tell you that there just wouldn't be a room here, because up here would be indented like it is here. Like, obviously there's a door here, but if there wasn't a door there and this indentation was still here, then you would have a hidden room here, and vice versa. Like, if this indentation was down here, that's where your hidden room would be. And that's also the truth on the other way around as well, on the other side of the stronghold, starter staircase stronghold. The other rule to that is you have to be facing a negative direction. So all the way back here. Oh. Never mind. Just go immediately there. But like, okay. So this is facing negative X, right? Hidden rooms can only spawn in when the staircase or the entrance of the room is facing negative. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So to me, what this would read like is, yeah, there. Good pearls. I believe you want to be offset by 1. Nice. Oh, good pearl. Very close. But yeah, I think the biggest individual split of the run is your village routing, because everything else was just kind of like you don't really ever have a pearl going to the bastion in the Nether. So that's like an understandable mistake. You learn. If it happens again, great for you. The bastion, treasure is pretty run-of-the-mill, easy, just micro stuff. The fort was just fast as well, so there wasn't really much to say about it. And then the post blind was actually played pretty well, all things considered, and then the end as well. So, like, work on your village routing, and also the part where I was saying about, like, that you getting ahead, why are you getting ahead thing.